you mentioned mushrooms and ayahuasca, and that's a very big interest for me as well. And I'm wondering, how can you tell me how a little bit of, I don't know how much you can talk about it, how
Well,
you guys
I'm
are
not an
incorporating
expert
that?
in those themselves, but we work with these doctor groups
Mm-hmm.
in Mexico and other places that what they do is they call it the forbidden cocoon for some reason, but they use the BrainTap and they use a sound table because we have a sound table that works with it
Mm-hmm.
too. So they're getting like Dr. Emoto's work where we can put sound vibrations through the body and it restructures the water.
Yeah.
So when they get into this cocoon, we use grounding blankets and we use the sound table. Then they put on the BrainTap and they've done they call them journeys. They go on a journey with whatever ayahuasca or the
Right.
mushroom. And these people they're using it for drug therapy, for PTSD. Basically, it gets them to have a glimpse of reality beyond what our conscious mind believes is possible. And, our brain, they know that our brain has receptors for DMT, which is another one that people can take that's only like 15 minutes long. So I'm just learning about it myself, but I'm hearing the feedback from them, these experts that are,
Yeah.
they have what they call a shaman that's
Yep.
there.
Yep.
It knows the mixtures and how to do that. And,
Oh yeah, it's very ceremonial. It's
Yeah.
very precise.
So, I feel the need to go do that at some point, but I want
I
to
recommend it. I highly recommend it.
what I've read about it. I subscribe to Gaia, so
Me
I've
too,
seen that about that, and people that really want to know about Joe Dispenza, if they don't have Gaia, they should do it. He just came out with a new series on there called Rewired.
Yeah.
It's really
It's-
good.
It's great. It really encapsulates his work, a lot of his work, and especially now with everything going on, not a lot of retreats happening, and it's a great way to touch in with the work. But so talk to me a little bit about kind of electronic drugs, and like, do you think that frequencies can one day, replace drugs? Is that the future?
Yeah, well, we actually have two studies going on, one at Government Institute of Medical Sciences in India, and a corresponding study, the same one in Brazil, in Sao Paulo, and they're actually calling it digital drugs. Because your brain is the most powerful pharmacy on earth, and every drug on the market works with the reactionary forces of our own brain.
Right.
So that's why they call it practicing medicine. So if I'm a doctor and Faust, you need a drug, or I think I'm going to get you something, I'm going to say, try this, let's see. And then the next time you come back, how did you feel? Okay, that doesn't work, try this one, because your body might respond differently to it. The problem with most of the drugs that are on the market is they're easy to get on and hard to get off.
Yeah.
Because the brain is a very lazy mechanism. It's very powerful, but it loves patterns. And if you offload some of its work, it says,
Right.
I don't have to do that anymore. I'm going to do this drug, and it just does it. And then when you try to get off, it says, wait a minute, you were feeding me that serotonin before, or blocking those serotonin receptors.
Right.
I didn't have to worry about this. So yes, I think it is. And I think because like the opioid crisis we have right now, our brain, when I went through surgery, my dad taught me how to do it. I had shoulder surgery. They took a piece of my collarbone, put it over here with a screw through it. No medicine.
Wow.
No drugs, nothing put me out. He trained me to do it. And then if I woke up, which I did one time during the surgery, all I had to do is give myself the trigger words, and I went back under. And the doctor got a little startled when it happened.
Wow.
But I just kind of looked at him, and I just did that, and boom, I was out again. And then the healing was much faster without the drugs in the system. Pain is optional. When we take people through pain-free childbirth, we call it stress-free childbirth because not everybody can go through pain-free, but it's pretty close to that.
Yeah.
Our brain does all the work anyway. So let's get the world's greatest pharmacy working for us. And what happens with these frequencies, what's pretty cool about it, everyone wants to talk about frequencies and how they hurt us, like EMFs and things like that,
Yeah.
which they do because we're electrical systems. We're 99% space. And what I love now in the research is that they know that we're light beings. We're not. It's not a metaphysical concept. Somebody out there goes, people say I'm light. You are light. That's all you are. And our DNA actually every 40 seconds broadcasts a frequency of light. It pulses it. It rebraids that 99% of the DNA that's called junk DNA, because when they map the DNA structure of the universe of our bodies, they only really mapped 1%. but they think they've mapped it all. No, that's because the other 99% is changing every 40 seconds.
Right.
It's not fixed. So when these frequencies hit it, now our own neurochemistry and our own biochemistry changes based on that frequency, because everything in the universe is frequency. Right. You know, when Nikola Tesla said, if you really want to talk about health, you've got to talk about frequency.
That's right.
You know, so when we think about that, now we just got to tune into it. What we did with our gamma training is we're going to have a stepping process, because even in ancient times, when they go into these caves, like where people would meditate in these beehive kind of, people would have these experiences they can't understand. They now can go and they measured them. Their actually frequency is 115 megahertz. So when you go in there, you're at high gamma. That's super high gamma. So when you're in there, your body's adjusting to it. And even though it's ancient technology, that technology is still working.